They say you can't have a strong foundation unless you start from the bottom, start from the bedrock. And I literally have a master's in civil engineering, and I'm telling you that is 1000% true. And believe you me, man, I was at the bottom. This whole time, I'm barely seeing the sun. I'm not going outside. I'm just indoor. I like to work out most days. I'm not doing that. Inside, having to be taken care of. I was in pain half the time. I couldn't sleep. Sleeping is just uncomfortable. I was literally up from 4 to 5:30, not in like horrible pain, but it was just uncomfortable. Like trying to put my leg in the right position. Like it hurt when I put it here. It hurt if I try to put it on the side or this side. It just hurt no matter which way I laid it. Because it honestly is no joke. This little 10-minute video, I can explain the day by day of the week, but until you're there living in the shoes for 24 hours, it's kind of hard to express how, I don't want to say boring, but how miserable. The word I'm looking for is miserable, because the first week after my Achilles rupture surgery, it was just pure despair and sorrow when I'm trying to sit there and can't do everything I know I want to be able to do. I'm telling you, I was thinking, like, just going back in my memory banks, like what's his name, Nolan out of Interstellar, looking at like my past memories, thinking, don't do that, like don't go and play basketball that day so I don't end up in the situation I'm in. But regardless, I did it, and I was in it. I was in that situation, and I was just down bad. And the thing is, the worst part wasn't even the physical or the emotional. It was I kind of compare it to how if you lose one of your senses, your other four senses will jump in and start, they get heightened to help you acclimate to living without that one sense. Well, I compare me being down physically and emotionally to that, because usually people might have their friends to fall back on, their family to fall back on. Their job might be fulfilling, their hobbies might be fulfilling. Spiritually, some people turn to God to help them through these tough times. And I'm thinking, when I'm sitting there and I'm down bad, I was like, I kid you not, I was down bad and I was thinking, I don't have any of these, I don't have any of these other senses to help me out right now. Literally, it feels like the only thing that really helped me get through the way I needed it to was just the hope that I'll be able to do these things again that I actually enjoy, which is just the running, which is just the physical. I feel like the hope of getting my one sense back was the only thing getting me through. And that literally kind of helped me realize, I was like, there's something wrong in my life in general. Like, it is not just this Achilles rupture that has me down bad. And that kind of realization of me being at rock bottom and realizing that the other aspect, it's not like I don't have a family. It's not like I don't have any friends, but it's like, I could clearly see that those relationships that I have are not where I want them to be. And that kind of realization, it kind of struck me, and I was kind of like, man, even at a time where you're so down bad, I had all the time in the world to just sit there and self-reflect. And that self-reflecting time literally led me to see all the ways in which I guess my life is really not being lived, you can say. And I thought about these scenarios where I covered up all of these dull senses, I'll just call them dull senses, with working out or running. I remember before I got this last surgery, the Kendrick and Drake beef happened. And it seems kind of silly. I literally made a video about it on my channel, but it seems kind of silly. I was like, okay, the Kendrick and Drake beef happened. And I was so excited, like it was Drake dropped a song, Kendrick dropped a song, Drake dropped a song, Kendrick. And they were going back and forth and back and forth. And I was like, who do I tell about this? All I had was either my girlfriend, who was like asleep at the time or wasn't concerned as much as me, or who, what, when. Literally nothing. I had nobody else to talk to it about. So I was like, I guess I'll just look on Reddit or go to YouTube comment sections and try and figure out, try and see if somebody else is talking about it to get that kind of connection. And I was like, man, this is sad. Like, it was sad. And when I was just down bad thinking about these things and thinking about these times, I was like, this is not acceptable. I just feel like I've lulled myself into this sense of complacency in all aspects of my life besides the physical. And as soon as that physical was taken away, I was just like, man, I have got to get it together. I truly do. It really just kind of put it at the forefront. It made it impossible to ignore by going to the gym or going for a run that these aspects of my life need improvement and need to change. They say they, meaning, I don't know where I heard this quote from, but it was, you have to do something you've never done to get something you've never had. I feel like I've never had the relationships I've wanted with family, with friends, with God, and my hobbies or passions, whatever it is. I feel like I've never had those because I've never done the work to actually get them where they need to be. It's gonna change. It's gonna change, and I think I'm gonna change it on camera in hopes that, I don't know, when I started making these Achilles surgery recovery videos, it felt good to kind of give back in a way. I don't know, I felt a connection with the people going through it. It felt good kind of knowing that my story is kind of helping them go through it a little bit. But at the same time, it has helped me immensely just kind of have something to pour into. It just feels good having some sort of passion that you can just do. Is that the word I'm looking for? Just having a passion, something you're passionate about that you can do and feel good about. And that's what this channel is, and that's what I want it to be. And I want it to be me shaping my life for the better right before people's eyes, so that way, if you're going through it, if somebody you know is going through it, no matter what it is, you see that you don't have to be the person that you were yesterday. And I'm going to try to change myself a little bit every day to be the person that I want to be and have the relationships and the dynamics and the hobbies and the friendships and the job and the career and all that stuff that I want to have. I'm 27 years old. I know I don't have all the answers. I ain't got most of the answers, but what I do have is the knowledge that things aren't the way I want them, and there's no way for them to change but for me to change them. So it took me being down bad with this injury, not being able to do much, to actually see how I've been living. And it's unfortunate that I had to get to that point. It's unfortunate that I was there. Nobody wants to be there, but I urge you, if you're watching this and you're down bad, please take the time. Just think. Most people, I don't know if it's most people, I don't know how many people feel like I do. But if you do feel down bad, just take a second and kind of self-reflect, because I realized I was more upset about more than just the physical. And if that's the case for you, please just reflect and say, hey, there's also this, and this, that while I'm recovering from my torn ACL or concussion protocol or, car wreck or whatever it is, just know that as you're healing physically, there's other aspects of your life you can be healing as well. It takes a lot. It really takes a lot to come back from whatever injury you're going through. I guarantee it's tough, no matter what it is. And even though it might be tough, I know you can get through it. Like, I'm going to get through this physically, but I'm also going to get through life in a better state, whether that's family, friends, relationships, whatever it is. And I'm going to record that for other people to hopefully be able to take some inspiration from. I just feel inspired to help inspire other people through my experiences, and that's why I'm going to run this channel. And next week, I guess we'll start with spiritually. They say that's the most important. We'll see what we can do. Stay safe out there, man. Stay safe.